We here at the Sports History Network proudly partner with 26 podcasts, all revolving around the history of sports. But did you know that many of our hosts were sports history authors way before they started their shows? It's true. We've got Joe Ziemba, host of When Football Was Football, Joe Zagurski, host of Pro Football in the 1970s, Mark Morthier, host of Yesterday's Sports, Tommy Phillips, host of Lombardi Memories, and Scott Adamson, co-host of From the 55-Yard Line. All these authors have many books for you to choose from. To check them out, go to our website at sportshistorynetwork.com/sportshistorybooks. Pick up your copy today. Soundtrack provided by Kevin MacLeod of filmmusic.io.
Now it's time to take a sports break, a look at sports history on a daily basis. Hello, my friends in sports history. This is Darren Hayes of the Sports Jersey Dispatch. Welcome once again to the Pigpen, your place for all things great in team sports and uniform numbers that players wore on some great events and our daily digits on a sports break. Now, sports history is made each and every day of the year, and we'll try to preserve at least a small sampling for some of the great athletes every day based on their uniform number that they wore if they have them. And today's numbers that we'll talk about are numbers 21, 32, 16, 44, and 41. Quite an arrangement of numbers there. June 30th, 1908 is our first date, and at the ripe old age of 41 years, 3 months, future Hall of Fame pitcher Cy Young became the oldest player to record a third career no-hitter as the Boston Red Sox beat the New York Highlanders 8-0 in that game. Of course, the New York Highlanders later on, a few years from there, would go on to be the New York Yankees, so that is the early beginnings of a great rivalry. And Cy Young, I think you've heard that name before because his name is on the pitcher of both leagues, the best pitcher of both the American League and the National League win the Cy Young Award. That's how good he was. And when you have a third career no-hitter and you're over 41 years old, that's pretty good, especially 10, 12, 15 years ago, whatever it was. June 30th, 1934, Detroit radio executive George Richards pays $7,952.08 to buy the NFL's Portsmouth Spartans, and he ends up moving the franchise to Detroit and rebrands the franchise as the Detroit Lions. Mr. Arnie Chapman's favorite team, formerly the Portsmouth Spartans. I think you can hear some great podcasts of his on the Portsmouth Spartans and their trek to becoming the Detroit Lions. Over on the Sports History Dude, also PigskinDispatch.com has a great episode on Portsmouth as well. June 30th, 1948, Cleveland Indians ace and future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Lemon, wearing his famous number 21 jersey, tossed a no-hitter against the Detroit Tigers in a 2-0 Cleveland Indians win with Bob Lemon on the mound. June 30th, 1962, the LA Dodgers future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher of their own, Sandy Koufax, number 32 in Dodger blue, allowed no hits against the New York Mets in a 5-0 win. And it was the first of 4 career no-hitters thrown by Koufax. And as we said a few days ago, they just unveiled a great statue out in front of Dodger Stadium for a great old number 32, Sandy Koufax. Well, that's how good he was for Dodgers. June 30th, 1967, when the Philadelphia Phillies signed Cookie Rojas, who wore number 16, by the way, away from the Cincinnati Reds after the 1962 season as a utility man, they probably did not realize how just versatile of a utility bargain they were getting. Rojas pitched a scoreless inning in the 9th as the Phils suffered a 12-3 loss to the San Francisco Giants. That doesn't sound too tremendous. Well, but in taking the mound that day, Rojas now had played all 9 positions since arriving in the MLB just 4 seasons earlier. So tremendous. All 9 positions one man had played. You don't hear about that very often at all. If this might be the only case I've ever heard of. Maybe you could email us at pigskindispatch@gmail.com and tell us of any other ones that you may have heard. June 30th, 1978, the San Francisco Giants star hitter Willie McCovey, wearing number 44, hit his 500th career home run, and with it became the 12th player to reach the 500 home run plateau in Major League Baseball. Quite an accomplishment and milestone there for him. June 30th, 1977, New York Yankees designated hitter Cliff Johnson in his uniform number 41 hit 3 consecutive home runs in Toronto against the Blue Jays pitching staff. Johnson was quoted by the Associated Press as saying, quote, "Happiness is getting to the plate 4 times a night." The veteran Yankee slugger entered the game in the batter's box 5 times in that particular evening, and 2 of his 3 home runs occurred in a record-setting 8-run 8th inning, where New York bashed the Canadian club 11-5, and what a tremendous fireworks that must have been for Cliff Johnson and the Yankees. So glad you joined us for this little bit of history on the Sports Break. Hope you'll join us each and every day. There's more great sports history on sportshistorynetwork.com, where my 25 or so friends over there are doing some great podcasting and writing of great sports history each and every day, as well as our own websites, pigskinddispatch.com, and don't forget jerseydispatch.com. Till tomorrow, everybody, have a great sports history day. Sorry, but my pitching coach just called timeout and he's coming out to the mound. I think I'm going to get yanked for a reliever. We'll see you back tomorrow for some more great sports history on Sports Jersey Dispatch Podcast. We invite you to check out our websites, jerseydispatch.com and pigskinddispatch.com. Not only see the daily sports history, but to experience the preservation of great events and people that play the games. Find us on Pigskin Dispatch. It's also on social media outlets of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel. Get all your daily sports history. Pigskin Dispatch is happy to be associated with the Sports History Network, the sports headquarters of yesteryear, found at sportshistorynetwork.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
It was just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction, in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football, college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so
retro
it was that
sports
Marla Delft
advertisement
discovered the
placards.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, sports writer. Coming soon.